Elon Musk has sent about 1,000 tweets a day since he and Donald Trump were inaugurated on January 20th as co-presidents, and it's to push his agenda, but also kind of muddy the waters, confuse the media, and distract from all of his corruption and criminality. And you would assume then, if Elon is tweeting so much about what he is doing at Doge, that he would be happy to talk about it, that it's something he wants to dive into more. But in fact, it's the opposite, because Democrats are demanding he come speak before Congress about all his corruption, about all his criminality, and of course he is avoiding that at all costs. But Democrats are making a spectacle and making a scene of how afraid Elon is and confronting him in front of Congress over all of these scandals. And we are going to get into the one member of Congress who I think did that best today. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video, and if you haven't already and you enjoy our channel, to hit that subscribe button. It goes a long way, and it really does mean a lot to me. Now let's get into Robert Garcia, who directly called out Elon in a brutal and hilarious takedown.
Now, I find it ironic, of course, that our chairwoman, Congresswoman Green, is in charge of running this committee. Now, in the last Congress, Chairwoman Green literally showed a dick pic in our oversight congressional hearing, so I thought I'd bring one as well. Now, this, of course, we know is President Elon Musk. He's also the world's richest man. He was the biggest political donor in the last election. He has billions of dollars in conflicts of interest, and we know that he is leading a power grab, also abided by and encouraged by Donald Trump and, of course, the chairwoman, Congresswoman Green. But I also want to run through what Doge actually is going to do. It's a demolition plan that's going to run through our government. Doge is trying to abolish the Department of Education. That means opportunities denied to kids. It means you're ripping away opportunities for children with disabilities who are dependent on this money. You're also halting medical research, which is also critical, which we have to also stop. The idea that we're going to eliminate or destroy the Department of National Institutes of Health, NIH, is crazy. Let's talk about the Department of Labor. We're talking about protections for working people across this country, where people can actually complain about abuses their companies are making against them and their coworkers. Workers are now going to be in danger. And let's also talk about the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, another huge issue for us. Think about the scammers and fraudsters that will be empowered across this country, because Elon Musk wants, essentially, these companies have more power over consumers and over people across this country. Look at the Centers for Disease and Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services. That is actually what's being discussed partly today. Healthcare, we're talking about being denied to millions of poor people, working class people across this country. And now, of course, they're on to their largest target, the U.S. Social Security Administration. We're talking about the destruction of the actual social safety net in this country. We know that 1 in 5 Americans collect Social Security, seniors, disabled people. This entire plan is about hurting the American social safety net and destroying our institutions. And it's
Yeah, that picture of Elon is definitely a pic of a I'm not going to say that word because it might get this video taken down. But yeah, that is definitely exactly what Elon is. And I love the way that Garcia is taking it to him. I love this new energy from Democrats. We're going to have a good friend of the show, journalist Peter Rothplatz, on in a few maybe days or hours, whenever this video goes up, talking about this dark woke trend of really pushing back in a kind of meaner way and calling out MAGA that I love and that we definitely need more of. And it didn't just stop with that clip, but another one of taking down Elon's stooges right here.
This committee wants to empower the richest person in the world to hurt people so they can take all of this money that they so-called want to save and then give it to themselves, their companies, and their billionaire friends. That is the attack that is happening in this committee and across this country, and it's important that we call it out. We also know, of course, that Elon Musk is sending his unqualified Doge staff to carry out this agenda across all these agencies. And in some cases, actually teenage staffers. No accountability, no experience, and problematic records. They're trying to rob you and they're probably a minor. Thank you, and I yield back.
I don't even understand how this is a conversation. And I did have a bit of a mental freak out when we saw, I don't know if it was Big Balls or one of the other weird, strangely named racist teenagers working for Elon. The story about all the horrible things that he had tweeted. He was fired or resigned. He was brought back. It's all been a mess. But this conversation around the character of these individuals working for Elon, taking apart our government piece by piece, bit by bit, to serve him. And I find that conversation ridiculous and unnecessary. I don't care if these kids are Mother Teresa. No 22-year-old without a background check who doesn't understand our government should have complete unfettered access to it and be able to unilaterally change it without approval from Congress. I don't care if they're good people or not. I don't care really, in fact, even if they're bad people. I don't like that they're bad people. I don't like that Elon's stooges are tweeting that they are racist before it was cool. That's bad. But what's worse than that is the fact that they are even there. It seems ridiculous that this is not the nonstop conversation, that we haven't seen more action from. I heard this brought up about the possibility of Democratic governors and then trying to arrest these kids. Like if they're from their state, if they're from Illinois, J.B. Pritzker should send some notice, get law enforcement involved. These kids are clearly breaking the law with the activities that they're engaging with Elon in. Like, it's time to step up. This is criminal. It's unconstitutional. It's corrupt. Act like it. Hold them accountable. Go after them. This hearing is a perfect example of how we're doing that, but we need more of it. And certainly Robert Garcia is bringing that, and he talked to Joy Reid about it a little bit more. And a clip I want to check out right here.
Let's bring in Congressman Robert Garcia of California, a member of the House DOJ subcommittee. Thank you so much, Congressman. You're on this subcommittee. Do you all have any oversight of these teenage and 20-something DOJ people who are taking Americans' data?
Well, we absolutely are going to be investigating it, and we should be looking at it. I mean, what's happening right now is complete insanity. You have the world's richest man sending out his team of kids in some cases out there in all of our agencies, manipulating data, causing all sorts of disruptions. And what's really, I think, a critical moment right now that we're in is they are doing things that are highly illegal and unconstitutional. And so I think we've got to investigate it. We're going to be bringing it up at our first committee meeting, which is, of course, this Wednesday. And most importantly, we're going to continue to expose Elon Musk and the reason why he's doing this. And we shouldn't forget that he is trying as much as he can to destroy our agencies so that he can get the biggest tax cut possible for him and his billionaire friends.
Is it just tax cuts? It does seem to me that he's also looking to remove oversight of his businesses. I want to go back to the fact that he is trying to turn Twitter into a financial services company, like a PayPal, where you can use it to make payments. That would be very convenient for him to do without a Consumer Financial Protection Board or with that bureau in the hands of his friend Russ Vought, because then he could, if he were to cheat people, if there were to be people losing money. We've already seen lots of Trump's own fans losing money on his meme coin. If he were to do something that defrauded the people who were using it, or if people just lost money, there'd be no police. He's essentially saying he wants to run through the bank without any bank officers in the room.
I mean, I think that's absolutely correct. And let's remember also, by destroying our institutions, he can sell off or privatize some of those to his friends. He himself can take some of the operations of government, use that to even become richer, already the richest man on the planet, manipulate that data, and then use his companies, which, by the way, he is getting, as you know, more from the federal government than any other person, from all the contracts and federal contracts that he is getting through his companies. And at the same time, he is not required to not finance, essentially, to not have any sort of his finances out there in the public realm. And so he's not telling the public what he's actually benefiting from. He continues to make more and more money off of the federal government. And now he wants to either privatize or himself wants to run some of these operations. And so it's all incredibly concerning. But you're also going to hear Democrats continue to raise this forcefully and aggressively in the DOJ subcommittee and all across in different committees across the Congress.
But to what end? I mean, they've already had more than 15 days to download the data. How would we even know if they've uploaded software, if they've put spyware? We just don't know what they've done with the data, where it is, and if they've copied it. So if the American people's data is already potentially compromised, and again, the president of the United States is in the compromising classified documents business and is already a convicted felon. So if there are crimes going on, how would we even know if you all can't even subpoena Elon Musk and get some transparency?
Well, that's right. And we tried to subpoena Elon Musk, as you know, and Republicans, of course, rejected that. Well, we're going to try everything possible that we can do to try to find out those answers, because I think it's incredibly important. We do know that we're also incredibly concerned about foreign influence as it relates to Elon Musk and Donald Trump. And so not only could our data be actually weaponized against us, manipulated, monetized, but it also could be given to foreign governments to actually hurt us in our national security. So it's all incredibly concerning, but we've got to expose it. And I think what's really important when we have these discussions at our committees is that we treat this as the bar fight that it is and bring every weapon available to us to fight. This is not a moment where we should be holding hands with Republicans or hoping for some sort of bipartisan compromise. This is a time where we've got to bring the fire every single time, protest every single place where that Doge team is at, and continue to call out Elon Musk for what he's trying to do, which is raid the federal government.
Let me ask you this, because the Democrats are in the minority, so you have only so much leverage. Have you all essentially made it clear to Mike Johnson that until they allow you all to subpoena big balls and the normalized Indian hate guy, at least subpoena them or subpoena Elon Musk, no votes on the budget? No votes, no Democratic votes at all to keep the government open. That is leverage Democrats have theoretically, right? Are you all prepared to use it?
Look, I think we're very prepared to use all of our leverage. And I think that, look, Leader Jeffries is in those conversations right now. I'm personally not interested in giving Republicans any votes for absolutely anything until we get actual answers and protect the American people's public data.
This is in no way a time to take our foot off the gas. We need to put it to the floor. We need to be breaking through. As I'm hitting my mic, you see I'm fired up. We need everyone else to be fired up. We need to be breaking through the floor of the car, putting our foot on the gas. This is the time to do it. Some recent polling showed that 74, 75, 76, the number doesn't matter. Overwhelming percentage of Americans view billionaires as too involved in our politics. Let's make Elon the focus of everything that we talk about. Yes, Donald Trump is unpopular, but Elon is historically unpopular and almost even more entrenched in our politics than Trump is. He is the perfect example of the thing that everyone hates, and the lies that he is telling are easy to call out. So let's do that. We're certainly going to be doing it on this show. And if you want to support that, as always, you can hit that subscribe button. You can leave a like on this video. And if you stuck around to the end, you can drop a blue heart in the comments. And until next time, I'll see you soon.